I never have to guess what she's thinking. I know her heart. I know her spirit minute by minute by minute. I know it right when I walk in the door where she's at. And I think that's really important.
It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who was actually in the arena, whose face is marked by dust and sweat and blood.
From Men in the Arena, it's Equipping Men in 10. Our conviction is to call you into the arena of manhood, call you out of the faceless, nameless bleachers, and call you up to be the best version of you, because when a man gets it, everyone wins. Enjoy today's episode.
Men in the Arena Army, we salute you. Hey guys, thanks for listening to this episode of the Men in the Arena podcast. This is Equipping Men in 10. I'm here with Dale Culver, and I am Jim Ramos. So we're going to jump in today. Got a lot of stuff going on with our Ask Me Anything question. So I'm going to find out what Dale has for man word. What do you got for me today, man?
My word is fiercely. And I'm just thinking about loving our family and loving our wives, and we should be doing it fiercely. Ooh, isn't that pretty great?
Yeah, there was a quote from, I can't remember his name now, but he said, there comes a time when every man should be fierce. Something like that. I think that's important. I think that it's important that we realize that there's always this whole mommy bear. I'm the mama bear. Mm-hmm. And that's great having a mama bear. Honestly, in nature, a mama grizzly bear is brutally dangerous, right. Fiercely dangerous. Yeah. But honestly, a dad who is fierce is more dangerous than any mother on the planet who is fierce, because he brings power and potential violence and authority that she does not have. And so there is a fierceness with a man, and when children know they're under the mantle of a potentially fierce father, that's dangerous. I read something in a book recently that said that whose book was it? It might have been Mansfield's Man on Fire. I can't remember the book, but it said the saddest time for a man is when he realizes he's no longer seen as dangerous. And as a man gets older, there comes a point where he's now seen as an old man. Yeah. And, I'm 56 years old, so I realize that point is looming. So fitness is important, and being a man that when I walk into a room, there's a danger attached, a fierceness attached. And so when it comes to our loved ones, they need to realize that is something that we are capable of, right, administering our strength. So yeah, that's good, man. So, hey, I want to jump into our Ask Me Anything series. And these last couple questions that I'm getting, guys, it's not too late to send these in, by the way. But these are tough questions. Tough, and you have to read between the lines, and these are tough. This one comes from SPG, and he says, you talked about love and respect between the wife and the husband, and that it isn't you versus you. This is on a video I put out. It is, or I think this might have been a meme we put out. It isn't you versus your wife, but you and your wife versus the problem. Then he says, but what do I do if I get these ideas and I'm trying to save my marriage, but my wife is not? The problem comes in a little short phrase that this man put inside of the question. And so when you read these questions, you really have to look for what this guy's really saying. And the phrase here is, save my marriage. So here's what I want to tell you. When you get to the point where you're trying to, quote, save your marriage, you're talking about a whole nother animal. I've talked to a couple guys lately who are in that mode where their wife is really seriously considering divorce. The guys, for whatever reason, are not living in the home anymore, whether it's through adultery or whether it's just a bad marriage or whether it's through, some kind of whatever. And they're trying to save their marriage. They are in complete damage control mode. So when a guy's in complete damage control mode, all you can do is play long ball. Mm-hmm. The problem with men is we want to come in and fix it. Like, what do I need to fix it? And she's going, this is something I saw happen recently. I've got 30 years of neglect from you. I won't ever say the word abuse because I think it's thrown around way too much. And I think oftentimes it's not abuse. It's arguing, it's fighting, whatever. But you've neglected me for 30 years. And now you want to fix it in 3 months? There's 30 years of neglect under this bridge. And so what happens, a lot of these guys or a guy comes up and he's been cheating on his wife systematically and chronically for a decade or 2 decades. Well, then he wants to fix it and he thinks it's going to go away in 2 or 3 years. Bro, you have decades, you have years of neglect, of abuse, and of abusing this relationship, through adultery or through whatever. So to think that you're just going to save your marriage now and be this noble guy that come in after you are you allowed it to disintegrate, I think that thinking is wrong. And so guys need to realize that if your marriage gets to the point where you need to save your marriage, and I don't relate to this because my marriage has never been at a point where it needed saving. We've had counseling, we've sought counsel, we've had all that stuff, but we've never been to the point where we needed saving. So I would just tell guys, listen, if your marriage is struggling right now, you need to begin to implement long-term solutions to fix your marriage. Long-term solutions. If you think you're going to fix it because now you're doing a date night, or if you think you're going to fix it because now you're not looking at pornography, or if you think you're going to fix it because you broke up with the girl that you were seeing behind your wife's back, man, you guys are wrong here. So this is long ball, guys. We're playing long ball here. So I would say, and I just say this over and over again, guys, if you want to have a marriage that works for you, I go back to an interview we had with Ad Rutschman, one of the very famous baseball coach. He said, be the man that you want her to be. Become that person. Be a man that she wants to be married to. So we need to begin to change into this man that she married. And I think a lot of times women get married to a man who is an illusion. He's not the man she married. And 30 years down the road, when the true self comes out, she's like, man, I've had enough of this. So we need to become the man that she married. You need to be the person that your dog thinks you are. And that's what we're talking about here. It's changing who we are. We are. And that's why we have this podcast. We want men to step into their best version. We want men to begin to win so that their marriages win. And when a man's not winning, no one's winning. So I would just answer this question, and I know this sounds like I'm avoiding the question. I really am not. We need to become the man that will never have to deal with saving our marriage, because we are a man that she can trust, that she can surrender her heart to, that she can open her spirit to, that will not neglect her. And if we aren't that man, we're going to be in this saving my marriage mode and not wondering why my wife's not going to comply when she's been neglected for 30 years. I wish I had an answer to that. And I have found that with Shanna and with my relationship with her, the best thing that we've done in our marriage, and I don't think there's a person on the planet who knows this would disagree with this, is that we keep short accounts. They're too short, but we keep very, very short accounts. I never have to guess what she's thinking. I know her heart. I know her spirit minute by minute by minute. I know it right when I walk in the door where she's at. And I think that's really important, so that you don't neglect her spirit, her heart, for 30 years and then go, now what happened? Well, by then you don't know how to read her spirit. You don't understand her heart. You don't understand what her soul is wrestling with. And when you lose that ability, man, it's over. Unless you've got a gracious woman who's willing to be patient while you figure your crap out. So that's all I would say, man. Do you have anything to add on that?
I'd say this to our guys out there that are watching TikTok videos. Don't take marriage advice from people who are goofing around and playing stupid pranks on each other.
So stupid.
Stick with listening to the advice that Jim gives on his walks on TikTok. But there are so many things out there in social media that are not going to help you guys.
Well, and what cracks me up too is sometimes you've got these 26-year-olds, 28-year-olds on TikTok that are experts on marriage. I'm like, you're an expert on marriage? Really? You've got no water under the bridge here. You don't even have children, or you have 1 or 2 little children. I don't want to be disrespectful to the younger generations, but when I was 26, 28, 30, 33, I had no clue what I was doing. And then we hang on the thread of their advice when they haven't even hit 30 yet. And it's not disrespect. It's just going, man, you need water under the bridge to be an expert. And now you can offer your struggle publicly. Here's how we're struggling. Here's what we're working through. And I think there's real power in that. But man, you got to be really careful. I've got 30 years of loving one woman. I've got 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've got something to bring here to guys. And so that's why the guys follow us. And that, that's why we had 3 TikTok videos go viral. Before I even knew we had TikTok. We're just trying to be real with guys, help guys, because guys, it's not about us.
Right.
We're not the hero in your story. You are. So
yeah.
I don't know. That's all I've got to say on that topic. Dale, drive us home.
Yeah, guys, we want you to head on over to meninthearena.org and grab your free electronic version of our newest book, Tell Them What Great Fathers Tell Their Sons and Daughters. And while you're there, click Join Our Program. Until next time, feel the wet sand on the arena floor, hear the deafening roar of the crowd, taste the sweetness of victory, smell the stench of battle, get in the game, get dirty, grind it out, and
be a man.
You've been listening to the Men in the Arena podcast. If you hunger to be your best version, then join thousands of men from around the world in our Men in the Arena forum on Facebook. This is the best place to have open discussions around the topic of biblical manhood. Make sure to explore our website at meninthearena.org, sign up for the weekly equipping blast, and take advantage of our many free resources designed to help you become your best version of a man. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Men in the Arena podcast. Remember, when a man gets it, everyone wins.